Today's video is brought to you by CallRail. They have a voice assist to help answer your calls, and they also have the best way to track your ads. Help your business. Learn more in the link down below.
And then it's lunchtime, and I sent, because I was with my brother, like I said, and I saw some of the guys that were doing the ductwork right now. We were checking on them, and we sent everybody out because we had a lot of calls and everybody's trying to catch up. I'm feeling sick. I wanted to take a lunch really bad and catch up on paperwork because I'm getting behind, and a freaking call came where I just was. So I left 20 minutes. I have to go back 20 minutes now because next door, one of our new customers called that the freezer's out. So let me go check on that. I'm not feeling great, and I'm a little annoyed because one of our guys went out to this call like a week and a half ago or a week ago. I think it was 9 days ago. I think I just checked. And they turned him away. They said, no, it started working again. It's fine. Don't touch it. And now it's like, can you literally the request on our website? We use our, if you guys need any help with your website, with your online business, anything like that, check out my link, reliablehvacr.net. The first links right now are going to be geared towards helping your business online. And our website has, well, our website's built out really nicely and people like it. Our Google business profile is doing really well. We're ranking in searches, stuff like that. This is where I'm getting new customers from, and it's working really well, even on a commercial business. So if you guys need help with that, make sure to check out those links, because they do use like a jobber form, a request form on our website. So basically what this customer particularly likes to do is leave a message on our website through that form. So I just read it right now, and it's like, can you please hurry and come check our walk-in freezer? So I was like, yeah, we could have checked it 9 days ago because there was something wrong with it, obviously. But yeah, so they can set those requests. We get push notifications, so I can see it in the Jobber app as they come in, and I just send somebody or go out myself. And then that customer loves the online payment option. So all-in-one, Jobber helps you with more leads through a variety of ways and helps get you paid quicker. So you have to park over there. I don't want to be there because that's where everybody turns a corner real fast. I'll get hit. So I have to be on this side. What sucks is that, yeah. So very little space, and there's a door in the middle. I can't do that either. Don't want to do that side, but the electrical's on this side, so it's whatever. Okay. What the hell's going on with that? I'm not here for that one, I'm here for this one. That must have shifted over. Should I even touch it or make it worse? Alright, so on this one, I feel like crap today. We got a, oh, you can already see that it's bubbling. So that was my concern, is that it feels like it's low on refrigerant. It's like 30 inside, she says. So to be completely honest, this might be a gas and go. I'm gonna try out my Stratus here. It's an old system. There's a lot of deterioration on the compressor itself as well. The condenser looks newer than the evap. So the evap might also have like leaks on it. I did not get a hit, so I'm gonna check out here. And I can hear the fan cycle switch turning off and on. All right, let me show you the compressor really quick. So I might just write that out in our Jobber app, photos and notes, so that they can see that that compressor might give them problems, right? That's a lot of rust and deterioration. And I'm gonna charge it up for now. I'm gonna check pressures really quick. We're probably gonna charge it up, and I'm gonna continue my leak search inside, although I did not get a hit initially because I walked through with that Stratus, nothing came out, but I did see just a little bit of oil residue, but not like a whole lot. So it might be micro leaks. Maybe our pressure's not high enough. So I'm gonna check all that right now, but I would push for a new system unless they just want to kind of you know, top it off here and there, maybe put a new compressor in. Maybe we can fix it or clean up a little bit of it here and there. I see it looks like something was rubbing on that too, but I'm not sure what that is. So I mean, if it works, it works. This is a customer that's probably not going to be changing out equipment left and right. So we got our probes hooked up. This is a 404 POE compressor, so I'll double check the evap, but yeah, we got 404. Obviously on walk-ins there's no weight. We kind of want to clear the sight glass, and I'm gonna just check. We already have a sweating line, that's not a big deal, so I'm just trying to clear that sight glass for now, add a little bit on top of that. We don't really get cold weather where I need to worry about the exact receiver level, but we could do that too. We could pump it down and check the receiver level. But for now, I'm just gonna get them by. We got a lot of bubbling there, and it's like at 30 degrees. I'm actually still connected from the roof. It's a small building to my psychrometer. So yeah, it's at 32, it's not moving. All right, and just from experience, there is a hissing that you hear, a low charge hiss. If you go into the evaporator and you hear it very noticeably, it could be a restriction, it could be other things, or it could just be refrigerant flowing, but there is a distinctive level to that hissing, and that tells you it's low on charge or there's not enough pressure going through. So on this one, both high and low are a little bit low. We're gonna bring them up a little bit. Our fan cycle control is going off like crazy, even though it is like 90 degrees out right now, or 88. So shouldn't be tripping. It's hot.
But yeah, I shouldn't have to say this, but keep your roofs clean. You're there to take care of the customer, and that means their rooftop. If you're like us and you like to keep it clean and professional, you might want to check out our sponsor AIREX. I love using their E-Flex guards to level up our installs, maintenances, everything. It just looks so much better than this. This is another company's install. They do not care about insulation. They do not care about the disconnects and how it looks, because the customer never sees it, right? So take care of your customers and check out AIREX. I'll leave a link down below and you can get them at your supply house.
So we got our, I think I already mentioned the probes on there. What I love about these is the charging tee. So I've had no issues with the size of them. I know Fieldpiece has a slimmer design, but I got my displays here so I can just quickly check without using my phone. Like I said, we're gonna clear that sight glass around the corner right there, and then I don't need any tee or anything. I'm just ready. I already had them hooked up. Just come here and hook up in the back of that probe right there and let it rip, meter it in. As long as you flash it in, you're fine. Give it a little break, and then we'll see where the level is over there. And we're just trying to get her going. Like I said, she is very concerned because we have our work cut out here. I'm gonna take pictures. I'm gonna try and clean up a little bit of their rooftop, and I'll show you what I mean. Her freezer has like 20 bags of ice in there. So she's like, please, my ice machine is down, it's not working. I can't lose those bags of ice that we have in the freezer. So like I said, we're gonna do what we can, which is a top off just to get it going. I'm gonna do one more leak search inside and just kind of show them the pictures and see what they want to do, and take it from there. Yeah, I don't even know where to start, guys. I don't even know what the hell's hooked up anymore. That's obviously bad. I have some sort of swamp cooler up here that we don't actually see these here, so I'm surprised. Filters thrown around. They asked us to do mini splits on some locations, so I guess this is what they're talking about. Somebody installed mini splits for like the kitchen because they felt like it doesn't keep up. But what I've noticed is a lot of their ACs are out. So this one, So this one's working. It's just, it sounds bad. Like it's vibrating a lot. This one hasn't even turned on. It hasn't rained, so that's not good. I thought there's water. So I mean, it's not cold inside, so this should be running. I just think they need some repairs done on some of their equipment, because there's another one that someone else didn't want to fix any leaks. I told them we could, worst case scenario is get you some coils, because that's usually where they leak on the Daikin's. But I don't know. They're also remodeling some of these older buildings. You can tell this is one of the older ones. So maybe they're waiting for that, but I feel like that's been promised for months. And I mean, I don't know. I can offer, but they have to tell me to approve it or not. I'm gonna fix that one right now real quick too, before it damages anything. Hopefully I don't damage anything messing with it. So their ice machine's not working. I don't know if that's what this is. But this is the back of the building. They have one in the front too. Because it's a walk-in, and then they have an ice machine on the other side of the freezer. I don't know. We're getting there. It's taking a couple pounds. The temperature is dropping quickly though. Oh, there it is. Golly, guys, clean your mess. So obviously they had plugged up. These are probably the filters that came with the unit. I see some capacitors as well. So I'm gonna just drop this down. There's a trash literally right there. There's people walking by. So we got a cap here. And I mean, I've told my guys the same thing. Oh, there's several caps here. Like, it's whatever you got, just yeet it off the roof. I'll take a look at that right now. And I'll walk around a little bit. Yeah, so I gotta make sure nobody's coming by. We can throw these down. Right here. All right, so immediately after clearing the sight glass, we got like 20 degrees, so I'm gonna let it run under 15. So it was stuck at 32, so it was a legit call. She said she didn't know, but she wanted to check anyway, so I was like, yeah, we'll check it out. So apparently it's been working on and off. I don't know why it didn't work today. And what I do is I clear the sight glass, and then I add just a few more sprays. You wanna add like another half ounce or half a pound or so, because you got that receiver and all that, right? So I'm adding a little bit more after clearing the sight glass. We're not weighing it in or anything. It did take a couple pounds. What I'm noticing on this one is if I were to pull that housing over, I guess when they repiped this, they didn't think about it, and because I don't think it's reverse, because that opening on that side's for the condenser. So I guess it doesn't fit, right? Because they piped it up, so they probably replaced the compressor, didn't want to repipe it, finish the job, and they didn't take into account how to put the housing back on. So I'm gonna just take off that lip right here. Alright, I don't work for free. I'm gonna just put that back on. I'm gonna let them know that they tied into the pressure switch here when they could have just removed the wire, ran the wire closer to this pressure control that they put in. Alright, so I'm gonna check for voltage right now, but essentially that right there is a pressure control. If you guys do refrigeration, you see these quite a bit. These are the mechanical kind. So you got a screw here, and I think this is just 2 screws. There's some that have more, but that's a contact, right? So based on your pressure and the settings that you put on it, this is a dual, so it's gonna work on your low and your high. Yeah, so I'm not gonna touch it. So if either one trips, then it cuts out the circuit, right? So you have 120 on each side, I guess. Right now it must not be calling. So you got 120 on each side. It just closes the contacts and lets it complete the circuit. The way I test them is I put a needle nose to see if it's going to turn on or if something else is tripped. On this one, the thermostat's probably satisfied, but you have your low pressure and your high pressure, and they seem to have removed the low pressure and tied in a peanut style, but they wanted to, I guess, keep the high pressure still, which at this point, guys, like, you could have eliminated this whole thing, because I guess I have to leave it like this. I'll just take pictures, and my calls for that, they're not going to pay me for something else. So essentially, if you would have put a low and a high over here, since you already had, because you can pump these down, you can pump it down here and still work on this and this, but you could have put the 2 in and had it work that way. I don't know. So I guess that's why they have it on, but you could have tied in 2 of these separate switches and just completely taken this off. That way it's not sticking out so much either, and removed all this and being able to close it properly. So I'm gonna put it back the way it was, because if I start messing with it and then run up the bill, this is a new customer and you can kind of tell the kind of work that they've gotten before and what they're used to paying. So I don't want to scare them. So that should have been done a different way. And you're getting rub-outs too. But I think this one's working. I'm gonna check the temperature again. Kind of just show them with the roof, the condition of the roof and stuff like that, and hopefully continue to gain their trust so that they allow me to do other calls like this that I notice.